Hello, I'm Mr. Plumb. Right, I'm responding to constant texts and messages, and in fact I'll read one out.
Have you fixed the car yet?
Right, there's two answers. There's a short answer and there's a long answer. The short answer is no. The long answer is no. Oh, I'm at my wit's end. So mechanically, that Z3 can sail or drive off into the sunset. Everything works mechanically. Electrically, it's still not working. No. My doctor said that I should take time off, but no, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So, right, electrically, here we go. Everything on that car works. I've measured every single connector pin out. I've back pinned it, measured every voltage. I've taken every single fuse out of that car, every single relay out of that car, and everything checks out, and it still will not fire. Now, I've gone through loads of things that it could have been. So let's have a look. I've changed the ignition switch. I've changed the idle control valve. All these things can prevent starting. Red herring, red herring. Anyone want to buy an ignition switch? No? Okay. So, and I've gone through every scanner under my ownership. I've gone through the Ansel. I've gone through the Foxwell N510. No, yeah, N510. 630 even. I've gone through the Autofix, which is my daily driver. That's what I've been using most of the time to go through all the codes. And it's given me this fault that I just cannot find. So it's basically saying you don't meet the criteria, so you're not going to start. But I've had that immobiliser apart. I've had the ignition apart. All the voltages check out. So I was at my wit's end. So, which is apparently in Cornwall. So, yeah, so I don't know what to do now. So there's this thing called DME, which is basically the German equivalent of an ECU, and EWS, which is the German equivalent of an immobiliser. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce what the word EWS is, but it's German. So there are different types of EWS systems fitted to BMW cars. There's an EWS 1, there's an EWS 2, there's an EWS 3, there's an EWS 3.2, EWS 3.3, and there's an EWS 3D. Now, transpires that I have an EWS 3D. So all the previous versions are separate models around the car. 3D puts it all together in a big bundle and says, just talk to me. I'll do the rest. So, okay. Oh, look. If only I had a whiteboard to explain to you how this all works. So, let me teach you a bit. So you've got an ignition barrel. That's not a snake eye. You then got two wires that go to the immobiliser. EWS. So that's what's got round it, is a loop round the ignition barrel. That is called a toroidal ring. I had one of those last Thursday, but I think it's gone away now. So that then sends a signal. Then you got key. You put your key in the ignition. You see that? There's my key. In there is a little coil and a little inductor, transponder, sorry. So you put your key in ignition, turn the key, that then sends a signal and says, ooh, light up this transponder, because it's an RF signal. I think it's 215 kilohertz if you want to get nerdy about it. That then wakes this up. That then sends a signal, I am your father, Luke. That's what it does. And this one comes back and says, yes, you are. And then it says, I'm now going to release the ignition. So then I get a status of released. Well, that's English, not German. That then releases the starter motor. So you can't break into a Z3 and try and hotwire it, because the starter motor will just stay dead. So it'll then say, right, released. That will allow me to crank. And nothing else. Unless you do this little bit where I disconnect the control valves, and you get this for about 3 seconds. So the issue coming up now is that there is also the ECU. Now that is basically the computer for the car. So we've got all this is all working. Now trouble is, mobiliser says I've got the key, he's cushy, I've released a starter motor, everything chucks out, big tick, right, fire away. What he also does is says, oh, by the way, my code is 1101. It's binary. And he says, well, my code at the moment is 1011. So I'm not happy. I'm not going to allow it to start. So you turn the key off, turn it on again, you get a new code. They're called a rolling code. Okay, 1011. And he's no, because my next code is 100. And so this goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Each time you turn the key, it steps down the codes. So these never match. Now, with that said, there is a function called DME. All right, DME, EWS, alignment. So it says, look, forget what you've got. You're both going back to 1. So these are tables. Number 2, number 3, whatever. I'm putting you both back to 1. Let's start this all over again. Stop arguing. Let's start this all over again. Now that is basically what EWS alignment does. So I go onto my little tool. Let's try the auto fix. Right, let's find the EWS alignment page. No, that's not on this tool. You have to get a Foxwell. I've got a Foxwell. Right, I've got a Foxwell NT63 Plus. Right, EWS alignment. No, it's not on this model. You've got to buy another one where it's got that function on it. So I buy the model that's got the function on it. So this is the NT510 Elite. So posh. Now I'm not a man of financial means, so I pay for this in instalments. So I thought, right, we are up and running. So I'll connect up to my USB to the ODB port in the car. Right, we're off and cooking now. Get down to the EWS DME alignment page. Communications fault. I'm sorry. Let's try this again. EWS DME alignment. Communications fault. I'm sorry. I just spent a lot of money on you, and you're telling me there's a communications fault. So I'll go back to Google, and I'll go back to pinouts, because I was told to go through. I went through all the wiring diagrams, all marked up, everything checks out. So I then said, well, look, that is my ODB port, and that is my 20-pin connector for a BMW. What's the communication fault? Oh, right. Have you got the right BMW connector? But aren't they just BMW connectors? Turns out no. They're wired differently for different cars.
That's the front. That's the back. Now, you can't see this, but you're supposed to send EWS resets down on pin 7. Now, that's pin 7. That's got no wire on it. So, what you're supposed to do is buy one which has that wired up and then connects onto there and then goes into your scanner. So, I had to buy another one because I'm not going to bodge this because I need it for other stuff. So, that's where we are. The new one's coming, another one's coming. Maybe we'll get the car started, but for now I'm just going to turn to alcohol.